Good blessed Monday night, September the 1st, 2025, the time being 9:39 p.m. I greet all human beings all around the world with the universal greetings of peace and the blessings of God be with you. It doesn't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. It doesn't matter whether you're the richest to the poorest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter whether you the proclaimed toughest to the proclaimed weakest person on the face of this earth. It doesn't matter if you my family, friends, nor my proclaimed enemies. It doesn't matter whether you like me or anything that I say, do, nor produce. That's your prerogative. You have a First Amendment to the United States Constitution, a freedom of press, a freedom of speech, a freedom to protest, a freedom to gather, and a freedom to associate. If by chance you a felon, check with your local law enforcement officials to see if you're not violating any local laws doing any of the above mentioned. If you are on probation or parole, you want to do the same thing. You want to make sure that you ain't violating your probation or your parole. What I want to speak about tonight is I want to continue to thank all of my Cabrini Green family and the few family members of mine that's been praying for my sister Arlene Nene, who heart stopped beating for about 2 minutes. And the doctors at Northwestern Hospital in Chicago, Illinois, downtown, brought her back 8-9 days later after being on a ventilator, breathing for her. She's speaking on her own. Thank God for her daughter to be able to travel on the train 17 hours to be with her mother every day. And she says she's not leaving, took a leave of absence from her job. She's not leaving until her mother is released from that hospital. But what I want to talk about, y'all, the violence in Chicago, Illinois. Just this past Labor Day weekend in Chicago, 54 people shot, 7 killed. 54 people shot, 7 killed. Since January of 2025, all the way to August the 21st of 2025, 262 people have been killed in Chicago. 262 been killed in Chicago. We're at September the 1st now. I don't know what the count is. But this is what I want to say, y'all. I grew up in Chicago, Illinois from the late 1950s to the mid-1970s. But I continued to go over there after I got out and started doing good, coming back over, helping people. I grew up in the Cabrini Green housing projects, the infamous Cabrini Green housing projects, which was classified as the most notorious housing projects in the country. It's only one side of the street left on Cambridge in the row houses. All the high white and the red projects is towed down. But this is what I want to talk about, y'all. Now, it's some of my homies in Chicago that agree. And that's my next move, is to move back to Chicago. I know I can't stop the violence. I hear a lot of people saying that Donald Trump shouldn't send the National Guards there. But when you sit back and look, you got some police that's trying to stop the violence there, but they can't do it all, especially when you don't have some of these people that call themselves leaders. You see what I'm saying? Preachers, Catholic priests that protesters on the highway one time. The people that have millions of people to come together at they call. Now, if they wanted to, like this one lady that's coaching the football team, she said that they don't need these people, Trump, to send these troops in. They can do it themselves. They can do it themselves. She said a football a thing that the program she got is going to stop it. It ain't going to stop it. And you're right. Black people and Spanish people, wherever the violence is happening, they can stop it, but they ain't stopping it. You see what I'm saying? The police, when people get shot, sometimes they don't never find the person unless it's a police getting killed. They hunt them down. But it's two things that Donald Trump did that I give him a thumbs up on. One, freeing Larry Hoover. And I personally think Governor Prinster should pardon or give Larry Hoover clemency before he run for this next term of governor in Illinois. The other thing that Trump did that I agree with is getting ready to send them troops there. Those that don't want the troops in their neighborhood, don't let them come in there. But you ask some of the people that just lost, the 54 people that got shot just this past Labor Day weekend, 2025, and the 7 that got killed. You ask them, do they want the troops? Those of y'all that don't want the troops, don't let them be over there by y'all. I go up there and I know the neighborhoods where all this stuff is happening at. I'm not saying it don't happen in the white neighborhoods, but I'm talking about being a black person living in places where you can't come out of your house. You see what I'm saying? I welcome them troops. Another thing that Trump should do, he taking these people that he call immigrants and getting ICE to get them out and taking them to where he say alligator Alcatraz. How about taking the white supremacists, the Ku Klux Klan, skinheads, Northsiders, gather them up and do the same thing. Gather these gangbangers up, gather these drug dealers up, gather these individuals that's doing these carjackings, gather them up and take all of them to alligators Alcatraz. Don't just go stop at one person. You see what I'm saying? But we know one thing about it. You sending the troops to California and to Chicago. Chicago, I can't say about California. I mean, I know it's violence there. But Chicago, I know that it'll come in handy. You had them troops standing on them all these corners where they be selling dope. People say, well, the troops is trained to kill. That's what they need to do. You see what I'm saying? If you can't get them off the streets, the only way you can get them off the streets, kill them. They won't be able to kill nobody else. Talk to some of the people that done had their family members killed. But y'all look at these 2 news articles. It's needed, y'all. It's needed. And like I said, those that say, oh, we can do it. It's not a question if we know you can do it, but is you gonna do it? You see what I'm saying? Having a football, teaching the little kids to play football is not finna stop these ignorant Negroes out here that's killing other blacks senselessly. It just ain't happening. You see what I'm saying? Go to some of them priests and people that went on the highway on the Dan Ryan with the chief of police or superintendent of police and all these other people. The one y'all worship in Chicago, Flagrant. I'm not going to call him father because the Bible said call no man father. You ain't seen him on that expressway no more. You know why? Because that was acting. You see, for 29 years, I've been doing the same thing down here, standing up against wrong. Corrupted law enforcement officials, corrupted judges, corrupted prosecuting attorneys, drug dealers, gangbangers, so-called thugs. These blacks that's getting this government grant money and misusing and abusing the black community. See, when you about it, you don't just do it one day and get on the news. That's the same thing these Negroes down here in Charleston, Missouri do. They'll give out backpacks for one day, and you won't see them no more for the rest of the year. A holiday come, they'll have something, millions of dollars that they making off of dope and government grant money. They'll get you bouncy houses and everything else. That's a penny dropped in their bucket out of the money that they getting. But y'all take a good look at this here. You see what I'm saying? We need them troops to get on every one of them corners in Chicago, Illinois, where these so-called tough individuals is. And the police, you move out the way, let the troops do their thing. You see, you ain't got to worry about them trying to get a lawsuit in you, because most of them, when you kill one of these people out in the streets, when you justify, when they sue, they don't even care about the person that's killed. All they care about is a damn lawsuit, some money. Check it out.
A deadly Labor Day weekend in Chicago as President Trump continues to set his eye on the city, threatening to send in the National Guard as early as this week. At least 52 people have been shot in Chicago over the Labor Day weekend. 7 of those victims died.
The violence included 3 mass shootings that happened at Haddon in California, in Chicago's Humboldt Park neighborhood, and 2 in Chicago's Bronzeville neighborhood, 35th and State and 36th and Cottage Grove. ABC 7's Jasmine Miner talked to people in Bronzeville about concerns about 2 mass shootings happening within 48 hours.
Many here in Bronzeville describe the neighborhood as on the come up, and they say they're not going to let the violence stop the positive work they're doing. For one woman, that means keeping kids healthy, active, and on the field.
We're gonna push through because it disservices the kids.
Alexis Hawthorne, owner of the top-tier university football youth program, says even gun violence won't keep her from serving kids in need. Their practice comes just a few hours and down the road from a mass shooting early this morning. 5 people were shot near 36th and Cottage Grove near Ellis Park, including a 17-year-old who was in critical condition.
At the end of the day, to have one person that was critically injured and 4 folks in the hospital, whatever the situation was, it was senseless.
It is the second mass shooting in Bronzeville in the last 48 hours. The other happened on Saturday night near 35th and State, where 7 people were hurt during a drive-by. Those like Alderman Pat Howell are taking action, telling ABC 7 in a statement, "I have long asked for additional police manpower to deal with large illegal gatherings and pop-up parties that routinely occur throughout the Bronzeville neighborhood." It follows Mayor Brandon Johnson signing an executive order this week to avoid the Trump administration from sending the National Guard into the streets of Chicago.
Us as people, we can come together and fix it out on our own. We don't need no one to come here and, wreck shack our community.
Others think the troops could help.
I got kids, and I want to see the community better. I run every day out here. I exercise out here. So for the street to be safer, I think it's really good.
But Hawthorne says her football program does just that. Teaching kids a healthier way to have fun.
We're going to do whatever it takes to make sure that these kids have somewhere to come.
Alderman Lamont Robinson tells ABC 7 that Chicago police do have 1 person in custody.
Topping your news at 4:30, more than 50 people shot and 7 killed across Chicago so far this holiday weekend. Now, the violence is rising as conversations have been heating up about President Trump's preparation to possibly deploy the National Guard. CBS News Chicago investigator Tara Molina live for us at CPD headquarters. Tara, you found out that this weekend was, in fact, much more violent than it has been this time in previous years.
That's right, Marie. Significantly more violent. Nearly double the shootings this holiday weekend than we tracked the last holiday weekend. And all of this as Chicago is under a very strong national spotlight. I asked police about that.
I got him. Pull up.
You're looking at the scene of a mass shooting in Chicago's Bronzeville neighborhood early this morning, where police tell us 5 people between 17 and 36 years old were hurt. Recovering 4 guns from the scene, investigators are still looking into what happened. It's the 3rd mass shooting we've told you about this holiday weekend. With 7 people shot Saturday on South State Street, 2 women and 5 men hurt. Police say a shooter opened fire on a crowd from a car. And Sunday in Humboldt Park, 4 hurt in a drive-by shooting on West Haddon, opening fire from 2 cars, 3 women and a man shot.
It's a holiday weekend, and that means there's a greater possibility for pop-up parties to be.
Enter criminologist Arthur Larigio, who tells me the weather we've enjoyed this weekend is a contributing factor to the violence we're tracking.
Some of the shootings we saw this weekend, and there were a total of about 55, and close to 10 people have been killed, have been outside in groups, and that can account for the large number of people who were shot and shot at.
I took a closer look at the numbers and found last Labor Day weekend, 26 people were shot in Chicago, 5 killed. This year, more than 50 people shot and 7 killed. Police are not commenting on the increase or addressing questions, telling me they'll share finalized information tomorrow. But with a national spotlight on Chicago,
D.C. was an easy one to explain. Coming into Chicago is a different circumstance. And so we don't have a need for a national presence here. But this past weekend is going to be the precipitant to give Trump the opportunity to bring in the National Guard.
Coming up at 6, more on crimes that have happened across the city this holiday weekend. And again, I'm told police will not have finalized numbers on the violence that we've been tracking until tomorrow. Reporting live outside CPD headquarters, I'm Tara Molina.
Now y'all just seen what the news people just showed. That's just this weekend. That's just the Labor Day weekend of 2025, y'all. That ain't the whole year. This stuff going on every day of the week. Carjacking. All this stuff that's happening in the black community, blacks should welcome them troops, whether you like Donald Trump or not. But if you don't want it in there, then tell them you don't want it in your neighborhood, but it's other people that's want it in their neighborhood because they want to be safe. I'm going to leave y'all with this here. Don't let somebody make the decision for you when you can't walk out your own house safe in your own neighborhood. Peace be still.